on, guys? Welcome to the stream, Late Night Live. So before we get started on the main topics, I want to circle back, like Jen Psaki says, to the Moscow terror attack. America said it was ISIS. They said they notified Russia for some reason. We became allies with them to notify them of a terrorist attack, what have you. But was it? Was it? Now, there has been these images popping up where, like this, for example, Ukrainian commander seen wearing an ISIS patch raises concerns of extremist links. This is back from February 16th. Then there was a video that surfaces here. AP published footage of a Ukrainian unit commander wearing ISIS patch. Now, if you go fact check this, they'll say it's false. Stop believing fact checkers, sheeple. Anything that's fact check is some dude living with his mom that has pronouns in his bio. Don't pay attention to fact checkers. They're all lies. Whenever the fact check says it's a lie, it means it's true. Go look on Instagram. You'll see it constantly. Anyway, let's talk about the P. Diddler. Yeah, everybody knows he's under investigation for sex trafficking. Apparently, Homeland Security raided his house military style, and people are wondering why it's Homeland Security. And there's been suspicion that it's because things have been happening overseas and not just within the U.S. Now, he was not at his residence. Okay, now it turns out he has an underwater tunnel, a house grotto underwater tunnel. Now, if you go look at his house is like, it doesn't look like something a rap mogul would live in. And people speculate that the house he purchased the house, the $40 million house in Los Angeles, because of these tunnels and hidden rooms. Now, there was some kind of addition made to the house that people speculate there's some kind of underground bunker or hidden room. So again, when Diddy, his house was raided, he was already at the airport pacing around. Look at him out here by himself, just pacing around the airport. And then his jet wound up leaving the country almost immediately. And there was people tracking it, a Gulfstream G650. And somehow he managed to have the tracing disabled. So you can see here. Now here's a leaked photo someone grabbed as it was grounded in Antigua. And you can see he landed at our Barbuda airport. Now, it was reported that he was not on it, but the big question is, where has he been? Did he really go? Did he really leave the country? Was he hidden somewhere? Was he hidden in the house in some kind of secret room? Let me play this video for you real quick. This is from today.
Music mogul hasn't publicly surfaced since the raids in both his LA and Miami Beach homes. We're learning the property on Star Island plays prominently in the investigation. Local 10's Glenna Milberg joins us live with the details. Glenna.
Nicole, we actually have every reason to believe that Combs was actually here on Star Island at his home today. I want to show you what some reporters here are calling the Mary Poppins effect. The umbrellas there have been shielding the entrance to his home. He has stayed out of sight since Homeland Security agents were here on Monday doing that search warrant, doing that raid, and since headlines after that have gone global about a sex trafficking investigation. The private guards at 2 Star Island spent hours fussing with umbrellas to shield the car. If there were decoys to throw off onlookers there to track Sean Diddy Combs, it worked. Those vehicles left the house shortly before we learned Combs' private plane had landed at Opa-locka Airport just after 1. Since federal agents served one of 2 search warrants here Monday, a celebrity-soaked narrative exploded into the headlines about a sex trafficking investigation headed by federal prosecutors in New York City. That criminal case may draw witnesses and probable cause from the series of civil lawsuits from prior girlfriends and a producer, with stories, photos, and as documented video of underage sex trafficking, drug-fueled sex abuse, intimidation, and violence. Notice the investigators are from Homeland Security, not the FBI. That might indicate the alleged crimes happened not only across the country, but in other countries' jurisdictions too. In the allegations, Combs' Miami base plays a prominent role. An example, this strip club on the Miami River where the producer claims he was sent to hire sex workers to bring to the house. This video shows Combs' LA home in the aftermath of the raid there Monday. At his Star Island address, agents seized Combs' electronics, including a silver MacBook Air. So those electronics, computers, phones, that seems to be what the intent was of the search warrants both here and in LA. I confirmed with the Southern District in New York today, the prosecutors, those search warrants are not yet public record, and so we don't know exactly what they were looking for. And worth it to say again,
They're not going to be public record. Here's a shot from TMZ with Diddy seen talking to federal agents at the airport. As associate is arrested. He had a guy with him at the airport. So no question for me that he was on board the airplane. He fled the country, was probably giving the word to go. So this is the thing. This is either a huge distraction, which I don't think it is, or they had to. Why did they raid his home military style and take these devices and things? Now it's reported also that Diddy had cameras all in his house. Who else had that? A guy named Epstein. Now, in the reports, the accusations, the allegations being made is that other elites, music industry, celebrities, people of influence have been involved in this, just like Jeffrey Epstein. Okay. And what did they do? What did they raid the house like that and take all the electronics for? This sounds so much like Epstein. It's not even funny. They had to go get all the records of the elites to protect them. Right? That's probably what really happened. Diddy will most likely be the fall guy. He will probably be Epstein. You'll probably hear Diddy killed himself. And he has Mossad ties just like Epstein does. In the music industry, who's it owned by? What group of people? Kanye said it. Kanye talked about it. Diddy most likely, just like Epstein, was running a Mossad honeypot operation to entrap and blackmail elites. They came to get the electronic devices to get rid of the evidence. They've got all the Epstein records. They've got all of them. And who's been prosecuted? Ghislaine Maxwell? Epstein's dead. And so why is there not a client list investigation? Because there's all protection. This stuff is so deep and so dark. And don't brush off P-Diddy because he was a music producer, a rapper, that he is not part of this dark web elite puzzle, because he is. He's one of their pawns that they use, just like Epstein. P. Diddy rose to fame literally out of nowhere. He was giving he was helped at 24 years old from out of nowhere to become a producer, start his own label with the backing of a certain man from a certain group of people, and he rose to fame. One of his biggest enemies, Tupac Shakur, wound up being killed, reportedly, many allegations from word of P. Diddy. I also find it very interesting because Jay-Z and him are very tight. Jay-Z left the country on his private jet yesterday as well. He took his family, left, and they're very close. And he's involved with all the same group of people that P-Diddy is. What you're going to see is a complete cover-up from this thing. P-Diddy will probably go down. Maybe a few others. Maybe lower-level players. But the big dogs, this was, in my opinion, probably all to hide the records. So none of those guys could get caught. Now, let's move on to the bridge, the Francis Scott Key Bridge. So the bridge collapsed at 1:30 a.m. And by 8 a.m., because people have been asking me about this, so I do want to address it. The next morning, all the officials had done the investigation. So from 1:30 a.m. to 8 a.m., they'd done the investigation. That's the quickest investigation that I've ever seen done by any group of federal employees. It's actually incredible. Where's the Epstein client list still being investigated? Come on. And it was determined that it was just an accident. 4 hours later, Joe Biden got up and on a microphone and said that the taxpayers will pay for a full rebuild. Why is that? How in 2024 does a ship run into a bridge? We're literally in the future. If Michael J. Fox was here, he would have took the DeLorean and wound up here. And we've got ships running into bridges. No way. You're not going to convince me. Container ships do not just run into bridges. They don't lose their ability to steer in the event of a power loss. Come on, guys. We are in the future. And they have backup systems for steering to ensure that they don't lose control during an outage. This is stuff that they've planned for and kept keep from happening, you know. And then we had the FBI say accident. The mayor got on TV and said accident. The governor accident. Biden accident. So what does that mean for me? It's positively. I'm positive it's not an accident. If they're pushing all the exact same talking points, you can assure yourself it's a lie. Now, Baltimore's bridge. Wow, $81 billion trade crisis. Ship crash sparks chaos for U.S. goods as collapse blocks ninth largest hub for foreign goods that handle 52 million tons a year with 10 vessels stuck in the harbor. Wow, man. If I was going to do some type of attack on somebody that wasn't like full-blown Red Dawn, that's something I'd probably do. I mean, that'd be a pretty smart plan, wouldn't it? I'm just saying hypothetically. Laura Logan, you guys probably familiar with her. Look at what she's saying here. Multiple intel sources. Baltimore bridge collapse was an absolutely brilliant strategic attack on U.S. critical infrastructure. Most likely cyber and our intel agency know it. In information warfare terms, they just divided the U.S. along the Mason-Dixon line, exactly like the Civil War. Second busiest strategic roadway in the nation for hazardous materials, now down for 4 to 5 years, which is how long they say it will take to recover. Well, what's going to happen in those 4 to 5 years, guys? What can we expect? That bridge was targeted. It makes you wonder. Bridge was built specifically to move hazardous material, fuel, diesel, propane, gas, nitrogen, highly flammable materials, chemical, and oversized cargo that cannot fit in tunnels. Now the supply chain's crippled. Yeah, in 4 to 5 years, and you have some type of event like within the U.S. where you need to move these critical items. What do you think would happen now that that's gone? It would definitely delay the response of America. She goes on to say, make no mistake, this was an extraordinary attack in terms of planning, timing, and execution. Two critical components on that bridge are the two load-bearing pylons on each end, closest to the shore. They are bigger, thicker, and deeper than anything else. They are in anchor points, and they knew that hitting either one of them would be fatal wound to the integrity of the bridge. Half a mile of bridge went in the water. Likely you'll have to build a new one. Also caused so much damage and structural integrity in the bottom concrete part that you cannot see and won't know until the wreckage is apart. Structural destruction likely absolute. So you'd have to start all over and clear all the debris. You couldn't have ships just running through that and getting crushed. Now, some other oddities. During this news program someone recorded, I want you to watch these two birds just magically vanish as they fly by. We're going to play it again. This is on Fox News. These birds just magically vanish. You see no movement. So you can say, oh, they flew up into the bridge. You see no movement. I don't know. It could be nothing. But then we have Mitch McConnell, sister-in-law that recently drowned in a Tesla. See, Foremost Group CEO Angela Chow died after her car went into Texas pond. Her Tesla went into a pond on private property. Oh, that's weird. Really? Nobody's thinking something's odd about that. Or just could be just me. She's the CEO of the company that owns the ship that hit the bridge. Say what? No way. Yeah, way. Foremost Group CEO Angela Chow died. So they actually, 2 hours before the incident, they changed the website. Said somebody else was in charge. Weird. Now, the other websites still say that she's the CEO, but they did change their website. Check this out, though. The captain of the container ship that rammed a bridge in Baltimore blocked the port is a citizen of Ukraine. What? Come on. Too many dots. Yep, Ukraine. Look at what that dude's making a month. 10 grand. Wow. He's getting some money. Okay. This is weird. And I'm just going to go off on a weird tangent for a minute. Just bear with me. The ship's named Dolly, right? And I've seen other people talk about this. I didn't create this myself. The ship's called Dolly. Okay. Now, if you go pull up Google or WikiArt, The Broken Bridge and Dream, 1945, painted by Salvador Dali. Weird. A bridge was broken by a ship named Dolly, and in 1945, could it be coincidence? I don't know. It's a weird coincidence, right? But then you remember a few months ago, I talked about a movie. I did a review because you guys kept telling me to watch it. I didn't want to watch it, but I did because you guys kept asking me to. And it was woke. And then we figured out Obama was the one who made it. Well, then in that movie, Leave the World Behind, Obama produced, was it predictive programming in the movie that a cargo ship lost control and crashed into the beach? Man, I don't know. Weird, huh? Very, very weird. Yeah, and then I seen footage of smoke and fire coming from the bridge, kind of like Building 7. But, there's just so many weird things with this, and it would be almost like a perfect cyber attack. Yeah, and then Tesla's just driving off into ponds. I mean, come on. It's really too much. I'm sorry. It's too much for me tonight. It's too much. I need to go to bed. It could be a perfect cyber attack. Look, man, make an attack that doesn't look like an attack, right? If I was going to attack the fiercest military force, they say, in the world, being the U.S. military, or the country that had the fiercest military in the world, man, I would like attack them without making it look like an attack. That's what I would do, right? Like destroy some critical infrastructure and make it like an accident. That'd be smart. But I don't know. I'm just a dumb redneck. So it's just weird. But why is taxpayers paying for it? Oh, man, look, somebody said it. Dude, and I even did the cough. Mr. Roman, you're on fire, buddy. I didn't even see your comment before that. Thank you, Keena. Always good to see you here. Our boy, good to see you too. Robert, thank you. Thank you, guys. Anyway, I don't know why you didn't watch my video earlier today. I did a midday live because so many people can't get on here at late night live. And so I did a midday live, and you didn't watch the video. Go watch it because it's a woke company. I didn't realize too that they had quit using X. Someone messaged me and said, hey man, go look, they quit using X. And they're like, yeah, we're no longer using X because Elon Musk. And I'll say this, like I was wondering like why I got so much hate. It's because, and it's coming it's coming full circle now. I started out primarily as a survival channel, like, because of my business, my product-based business, Black Scout Survival. If you don't know, if you're new here, Black Scout Survival is a goods company, and I started making YouTube videos to promote the product because I thought it'd be good business, good marketing for my product. And then I got tired of seeing the world burning and me not doing anything about it. And I didn't want to be a coward like all these other guys that own companies and don't want to speak their mind. They want to be apolitical, don't want to, say what needs to be said. And so I started saying what needs to be said. But I started getting lots of hate. And then I realized, man, it's because lots of leftists are into survival. It's weird, but they really are. And they're in the bushcraft. I can't stand bushcraft. I don't even know what that means. Going in the woods and bringing eggs and bacon with you to go cook in the woods, that's the dumbest. And pardon me if you do that. I'm not trying to, you do it. I just think it's dumb. I'll go kill something in the woods and eat it. I'm a survivalist. I'm not a bushcrafter. I don't carry axes and saws and stuff in the woods. I carry knives and guns, and I'm like I was into survival well before many other people. Like it became a fad. Like I was into survival like 30 years ago. Like whenever the poor man's James Bond, if you hadn't looked at that book, you need to check that out. There's those type of books. I'm not even gonna say his name. He's probably get flagged, but he's a legend in the survival. Like I'm a old school survivalist guy. Like, so not into the new school survival guys, which is, I guess, primarily leftist because they're really into the bushcraft thing, carrying eggs and bacon out in the woods and cooking it and carving spoons. Dude, I'll just use my hands. Conservation of energy. You know what I'm saying? If I'm in a survival situation, it's conservation of energy. I'm not wasting any energy. I'm not burning any energy carving a spoon. That's the thing. I'm not, I can obviously survive on a knife alone. Like I've trained in that. I've been through schools in that where I can walk out in the woods and literally with just a knife and survive. I don't believe in carrying a bunch of equipment. I think like carrying a survival kit and a knife is survival, not camping. But I'll do camping and stuff too, obviously, because that's enjoyment. But survival is survival, carrying guns, knives, and surviving, like in some kind of doomsday apocalypse scenario. Anyway, but a lot of leftists are into that. And a lot of people would ask me, over the years, like, why don't you do gear reviews? Well, mostly because all these companies are leftists, dude, like LifeStraw. Go watch my video earlier. Please, if you did not go watch it, go watch it. It was earlier today. Get your mind blown. But, the thing is, most of the survival companies are leftists. I got into it with a company, I think a year or two ago. Dude, I knew the dude was a leftist. I met him in person, and, he wanted to send his cronies my way, but he's a full-blown leftist too. And it's easy to see who the leftists are. Just go see who they follow on Instagram. And if they're not following any Republican people, they're probably a leftist. Because we're in a fifth generation war, and anybody who's a conservative knows that we're in that, right? And so that's an easy find. And then you just see what they post. If they're not going to take a stand, they're probably not worth supporting, in my opinion. But anyhow, I did, because of that, I've actually been in contact to make a water filter today. Some guys because I said, man, I might just sell water filters too. I should. I'm a survival company. So anyway, I really never had a desire for us to go that direction, but I'm going to make a water filter. So we'll have some water filters soon. I've been working with a company all day, putting that together so that way I can offer you guys that. The thing is that I said, most of these people are in the leftist realm, and you got to be careful who you're supporting, because a lot of these people are leftists. And the thing is that you're not going to have, a lot of people say, you may have a company that says right-wing things, but a leftist will never say conservative or right-wing red pill things, because they have derangement syndrome. Like Trump's attorney always says, Alina Habba says people have Trump derangement. They literally have, so they can't even pretend to be a conservative. Trust me, a leftist cannot pretend it. They're so ate up, they can't sleep at night because of it. So it's easy to figure out. It really is. And then they'll do dumb stuff like Lifestraw did, totally killed their brand, just like Bud Light and all these other people. But the thing is that in the outdoor community and the survival gear community, prepper community, a lot of these people will just be apolitical. Like they won't talk about politics because they're leftists, and they know that probably a lot of their people are conservative because it's kind of like, to me, having a fire extinguisher. Like, you know, the world is burning, dude. Like you should be prepared. Like in the Marine Corps, we used to have a saying, stay ready so you don't have to get ready, right? That's physical fitness. That's having your equipment, having your firearms. Like, you don't want to go you don't want apocalypse to kick off and your gun's rusted up, right? You keep that thing oiled, right? You keep your stuff squared away. Batteries are in check. You don't go throwing your nods and all your batteries are burned up. You know what I'm saying? Your knife's sharp. These sort of things, you stay ready so you don't have to get ready. But the thing is I do want you to go check out that video if you did not. It is entertaining, to say the least. And just to show you that the world's burning. Again, like what we talked about tonight, I might have went off on the deep end a little bit tonight. Maybe not. To me, man, nothing's too far-fetched anymore, to be honest. Really, it's really not. I'm sure most of the people my age probably listened to P. Diddy back in the day, Notorious B.I.G. and things like that. You probably would never suspected P. Diddy to go have been involved in the Mossad honey trap scheme like Epstein. I mean, you wouldn't have suspected that. When Epstein got caught, you still wouldn't have suspected that. The funny thing is, though, is that 50 Cent rapper for years has been saying these things about P. Diddy, and lots of people would attack 50 Cent for that. But you know, the thing is, there's always, where there's smoke, there's fire. And that's where a lot of these things come from. It's just like this bridge thing. Where there's smoke, there's fire. There's too many oddities with this bridge. And again, whenever they unite in the same narrative this quick, it's like it was already determined. They already knew. What are they trying to cover up? It's all about distractions. You see distraction. Oh yeah, Cat Williams called him out all the time too. Somebody just commented that Cat Williams called out P. Diddy a lot too. But the other thing about P. Diddy too is people would make fun of him because he was a producer and he'd always want to be in the videos and stuff. Tupac would talk about P. Diddy doing that. He's a music producer, but he'd want to be in the videos. He'd want to have a line, and you know, he really was not a great musician. So it was crazy. But yeah, Cat Williams has been saying it too for years, and he was exiled from the mainstream too. Cat Williams was speaking out on this stuff years ago. He got kicked off, just like what's happening with Candace Owens. I foresee bad things probably coming to Candace Owens. She's attacked the people we can't talk about. So when you talk about them, you get canned. You get canned. Shannon, thank you. Yeah, it is. SOE, good to see you, John. Multicam Arid or Multicam Tropic? Well, what you talking about? I love both of those, though. I love both of them. Was I saying something I was talking about those? I don't remember. Yeah, my apologies if I didn't catch. But yeah, Multicam Arid and Tropic are both good. They're my favorite, actually. Someone said Woodland. I guess maybe he's talking to somebody. Thanks, John. Thanks for that. Hitting me with that, man. Yeah, those are great colors. But color patterns, multicam patterns, my favorite. And I used to like black, but I like Arid and Tropic much better. Tropic actually works better in my area in the Southeast. It works much better than even standard multicam. But yeah, guys, I think that a lot of these things, you got to pay attention to these things, because what you're going to see is more distractions. The P. Diddy thing unraveling is going to be, I think, pretty monumental, because it's going to be just like Epstein, and it's going to vanish. Too many people are involved in this. And again, the people that run the world, the people we can't name, the same people going after Candace Owens. Again, like something's probably bad is going to happen to her just because she's went against the narrative. I saw Alex Jones win in on the same guy today. And I mean, they've been going after him for years, but he went on him hard. Like if you didn't watch InfoWars today, I would highly recommend it. That dude went full bore into homeboy. It was good. It was good. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Make sure you leave a comment. Go watch the video earlier. Get your cringe prepared. And guys, remember, stay frosty, stay strapped, and always stay dangerous. Take care.